Welcome to Stories for Lip Reading. If you haven't used our website before, we suggest you look at our How to Use page before you begin. We hope you will enjoy this joke, which is called The Trainee Detectives. The Trainee Detectives. 3 trainees were pulled out of detective training because they were doing really badly. They had failed several assessments. So the head of training wanted to check if they were clever enough to continue. To test their skills in recognising and remembering a suspect, he called in the first trainee and showed him a photograph for 5 seconds. Then he turned the photograph face down. "Okay," he said. "Imagine that was your suspect. How would you recognise him?" "Easy," said the trainee. "He'll be easy to recognise because he's only got one ear and one eye." "You fool," said the boss. "That's because the picture only shows him in profile." He sent him out of the room and called the next one in. He showed him the same photograph and asked the same question. "Imagine that was your suspect. How would you recognise him?" The second trainee laughed and rolled his eyes. "That's so easy," he said. "He'll be easy to recognise because he's only got one ear and one eye." Well, the head of training was in despair. He sent him out and called the third trainee into the room. He showed him the same photograph and asked the same question. "Imagine this was your suspect. How would you recognise him? And think carefully. I don't want another stupid answer." The third trainee peered closely at the picture for 5 seconds. And then he said, "Well, the suspect wears contact lenses." The head of training was astonished. "Wait here," he said. "I'm going to check his file to see if you're right." A few minutes later, he came back into the room with a beaming smile on his face. "Wow, that's amazing. You're right. He wears contact lenses. How on earth were you able to make such an accurate observation?" "That's easy," said the trainee. "He can't wear ordinary glasses because he's only got one ear and one eye."